Do you ever hear those people talking on Instagram about taking a risk? And I had to risk this and risk that. And if you don't take risks, you'll never know if they'll pay off and other things like that. Sometimes they even say that not taking a risk is a risk. And I agree with that. But sometimes things just don't pan out. I feel like we've been tricked into thinking that all risks pay off. We hear things like reading a book a day for knowledge and taking risks in your 20s is a way to make it big, but it just doesn't happen that way for everyone. The thing people like you and I have to understand is that if it was easy as taking a risk, then everyone would do it. Your mom would have done it, your dad would have done it, your great Uncle Steve would have done it if it was that easy. See, here's the thing. Sometimes it just boils down to being in the wrong place at the wrong time and a little bit of luck not being on your side. Yes, the more you work at something, the more you chip away at it, the better you get. But with almost everything, there's still a little luck involved. Let's say that your parents had a successful business. If the business got passed down to you, you were lucky in that sense, because not everyone's parents run a business that can be passed down to their children. Like me, for example. My mom and I lived paycheck to paycheck up until she died, and to this day, I still kind of do. I've taken some steps to, build a bit of a cushion and, have it behind me in case of an emergency or, something like that. But make no mistake, I'm not sitting on 15 or 20 grand or anything like that. The thing I've realized is that you can work on something for so long. You can work 15, 16, 18-hour days, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. Everyone can't be successful. Everyone can't make it. That's just the way the world works. Behind every successful person or company is a bit of luck. This luck can come in the form of timing or, meeting the right people, or maybe you just get lucky with algorithms or something like that. Maybe you decide to go to this one networking event even though you didn't want to, and you meet someone who has the same vision as you and they invest in your company takes off, and the rest is history. That's right place, right time type of luck. Sometimes you just have to be born in the right time frame. Look at someone like Nikola Tesla, right? He was this brilliant inventor who created all these things, and he was a big part of creating electricity. And you can make the argument that yes, he created great things, but it's almost as if he was born too early. He was too ahead of the times, if that makes sense. Imagine if he was just getting into the prime of his career right now with modern technology and funding and other things like that. But then again, maybe we wouldn't be here if he wasn't born in the time that he was, because he would have had to invent the things that he did in order for us to get to this point. I hope that made sense. But to get back to my point, it also takes a bit of luck to be born in the right time. Luck also takes place with things like, algorithms, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you want to name it. Yes, the argument can be made that if you just make good videos, that eventually you'll break out on YouTube. I actually made a video talking about being the first at something or being the best at something, and I think YouTube fits that criteria. If you look at some of the oldest channels, they're still somewhat going strong because they were first on the scene. Then you look at people who upped to the production quality and became the best, and they'll probably be hanging around for a while, even if they started later. But I also think that being hardworking isn't the only metric that can measure success, because then other people in other countries would have way more than we do. Think about those people on the other side of the world that make our clothes and make our phones and stuff like that. They work, 12, 14-hour days doing the same thing every day, day in and day out. To bring it back over to our side of the world, think about construction workers. I walk by this construction site on my way to work, and every day I see these guys up there. They've been there for the past, year and a half. But every day, whether it's raining, it's snowing, it's sunny, it doesn't matter. They're constantly lifting and bending and breathing in all this dust and other things like that. And they're not the people with the most money in society. And I'm not saying that being in construction means that you're going to be poor, don't get it twisted, but they're by no means the richest people. So what's the whole premise of this video? Well, I guess it's to say that hard work isn't the only thing that you have to do to be successful. It does take long hours, it takes mastering some type of ability or skill, and it also takes a bit of luck. If hard work was the only thing that it took, then we would see way more successful people. Look at your parents. I guarantee that your mom and dad work hard, or they did work hard to get where they are now. Does that mean that they're successful? Well, it also depends on how you look at success. If you look at, this recent, trend of success, about how success looks with like Lamborghinis and having a big house, and sure, your parents might be successful, but if you reframe your thinking and say, my parents paid off their house, they put a roof over their kids' heads, and there was always food on the table, then that can be considered success also. It's all about how you see it. And don't get it twisted, that one also requires some sort of luck, but maybe not 4-leaf clover levels of luck. And as always, thanks for watching.